Okay, by end of the year tabletop role-playing game, Ask Me Anything Q&A. We're doing this one. There's others, and most of those I'll ignore. I meant to start this on the 15th, because that way we would have had the countdown to Christmas, but I forgot because I'm dumb. All right, so what is the OGGM's favorite race / class, and where has the OGGM played? Because, now it's like, you weren't there, you don't know. All right, so favorite class. First class I ever played was Fighter. The longest class I've ever played was Wizard / Sorcerer for 15 years in TJ Storm's campaign, Company of the Bull. Favorite class now, I went through a long time where I liked quirky skill monkey characters. Every system. I like to fill the holes. Oh, that's a sex thing. Fill the spots that the other players weren't covering. So, I'd always ask, like, okay, well, what's not being played? So inevitably, I was always going to be playing like the thief or the bard or the cleric, some class that let you do a little bit of everything to fill in the holes that other players weren't covering. I liked being the utility player. I didn't really like being the main fighter. I could be the wizard, but after a while you get bored of wizard. But over the years, it's just, I keep saying over and over, well, cleric, it's cleric, right? It's the most broken class in the game. There's really nothing they can't do. The last time I got to play 5e D&D for any realism, there was the live play game that I played for a year over at Dream World before they shut down. I think that was about a year. I was playing basically a cleric. And yeah, just had a ball playing that character and, combining the martial aspect with the spell casting aspect with the personality of the character to be this tribal berserker shaman of Odin. / Crom. So that was great. Online, the last character I played was a bard in Castles and Crusades, which of all the versions of bards I've played in the different games, the Castles and Crusades bard is very specific what it's about, what its thing is. And if you don't play it that way, apparently people, it doesn't really work. It's a very one note bard built to be very specific. So it didn't really work in the game I was in. That's a separate topic. But yeah, I like quirky skill monkeys and I like the cleric. So the cleric / quasi rogue. I don't like running rogues who just go up and sneak up and backstab and poison people, but I like the sneaking and the disarming traps and the investigating and the engineering and the figuring things out and coming up with unusual solutions to problems and being sort of the quirky comedy relief character. That's my niche. That's the my fun. It allows me to work through things and be goofy and light and hopeful and kind and do things like that. So yeah, but every time I played a cleric, it's ended up being like, wow, yeah. That said, the longest character I ever played was in TJ's Company of the Bull game, on and off for 15 years. I played a character that started out as a wizard, and then when we switched systems and got introduced to the sorcerer class, it turned out, oh no, you were a sorcerer, not a wizard, and you'd been a sorcerer this whole time. And I was like, okay, yeah, I guess sorcerer makes more sense now that we're looking at it and looking at how it works. It's definitely how I played the character was more like a sorcerer than a straight wizard build. But that character was also just totally freaking insane and goofy. And I will say, when I refer to old school D&D wizards as being the most hardcore class in the game, dude, when you're starting with a 1d4 hit points. And if you're starting with 1d4 hit points and you don't have a good con, at best you've got first level character with 4 hit points, but more often than not, you've got a first level character with 1 or 2 hit points. So yeah, I started that game first level wizard knowing 1 spell with 1 hit point. I did not think I was going to live. And that character got stuck by himself at the top of a stairway being charged by an ogre. And the only thing I could think of, because the one spell I had at the time was Detect Magic, was there was a fountain at the top of the stairway. So I flooded the fountain so the water started going down the steps, and I took my bar of soap out because my character had a bar of soap in his starting equipment, and did the whole, soapy water, let's make the stairway slippery. So when the ogre got to the top of the stairs, I pushed him, hoping beyond hope that he would slip on the soapy water and fall back down the stairs instead of killing me. And it was successful. I rolled like a natural 20, if I remember correctly. I rolled really high, and sure enough, this, 95-pound weakling wizard who knew one spell pushed the ogre down and killed him, and that was like enough experience points for me to level. And I was like, yes, this wizard's just hardcore. From that point on, I played the wizard as if he was like Ric Flair, man. He was just like, I took out an ogre. I'm a king. It doesn't matter if I have 2 hit points. I'm going to kick your ass. It was a fun character. So that's the longest. So yeah, but quirky skill monkeys. Now there's been a question about the whole, where were you? You weren't there. So where have I played? Well, obviously California, up and down the coast from San Diego all the way up to Crescent City, several different parts of California, several different game stores, the Los Angeles Science Fiction and Fantasy setting. I've played D&D at UCLA. I've played it at my high school and my junior high school. Played it at a couple different game stores: Les Maisons du Guerre, The Last Grenadier, Change of Hobbit, The Zone. Played in Daly City, played in Lancaster, played in San Francisco, played at Humboldt, played in Eureka, played in Crescent City, played in Oregon, played in Ashland, played in Portland, played in Seattle, played in Spokane, played in Hawaii, played in Tahiti, played on a boat, played in London, played in Leeds. Where else? Played in New York. Played in did I play D&D there when I was there? Maybe not. I think the only time I played D&D out of the US was when I was in London and Tahiti. But yeah, mostly the United States, majority, obviously California, a few other states, but mostly California. Oh yeah, Vegas. Played D&D in Vegas. Yeah, so I've been, maybe not everywhere, but I haven't played D&D in like Japan yet or anything. But yeah, I played D&D on a boat. I haven't played it in space yet. There we go. So that's my favorite PC class. What's yours for D&D? I mean, if we're talking other games that have classes, especially since my favorite genre is superheroes. But yeah, we're, favorite D&D class, quirky skill monkey, or clerics. Have a great Thursday. I'll talk to you later.
News from the table in the rolling waves. Dice in our hand, we're the dungeon's brave.